All right, so we're going to continue our lesson 8 here with session 2. And again, we're just going to focus on place value and being able to name a place value and read it out loud correctly. So let's do a warm up. So we're not going to do this top part here where we model it with base 10 blocks. Obviously, we can't do that over video, but we are going to write this number in word form and expanded form. So let's do that on this page over here. So let's do word form. All right, so the number we're working with is this. And let's look at the word form of this. So to do the word form of a decimal, you have to look at the smallest place value. And in this case, this place value is in the hundredths place. And to name it, you just say the number that's to the right of the decimal, which is 28. So this is 28 hundredths. It's pretty simple as far as that goes. Now, expanded form is going to go two different ways. So this can be done this first way, which is, well, let me write 28 hundredths right here. And this can equal 2/10 plus 8 hundredths. That can give us that. A second way to do this is, and this is how we did the IXL the other day. So this digit 2, that is doing the tenths place. And this digit 8 times the hundredths place. So that's our expanded form. So remember, this digit is being multiplied basically by the place value itself. This is tenths and this is hundredths. All right, so you can do that both either way. Either way will work. All right, so open up to page 149 and let's talk about some blueberries. Okay, Josh uses a kitchen scale to weigh some blueberries. The blueberries weigh 0.604 pounds. So I'm not gonna say the correct way until we get to like the end here. So I'm saying that on purpose. Josh's mom wants to know how much the blueberries weigh. How does Josh say how much the blueberries weigh? Or otherwise, how does he say this out loud to his mom? Well, first way to do that is let's make a quick place value chart. And again, I'm encouraging you guys to do this a little more often as a way to, it just takes a second. Put your decimal in this little mini column here. So you got our ones, tenths, hundredths, and the thousands right here. All right, so let's do that. Let's take the numbers from up above. So 0 goes into ones. We've got a decimal point here. 6 goes into tenths. 0 goes into hundredths. And 4 goes in the thousands. I spelled that incorrectly. I was rushing. That's what I get. Okay. So to name this, we look at the smallest place value that has a digit, which in this case is this one right here. So it's thousands. And then you read the number off to the right of the decimal. So if we look at that, that's 604. So we do 604. And then to name it, we use that smallest place value, which is thousands, just like that. 604,000. Remember, don't use the word and, because if we ever use and, that will mean we've got a whole number and a decimal involved with that. So we don't want to do that. 604 thousandths. And you can add of a pound here if you want to be totally accurate. Another way to look at this is we are eventually going to do conversions of decimals to fractions. So if this is 604 thousandths, that is a fraction would be 604 over 1,000. This is just a good to know type thing, and we will be talking a little bit more about fractions because we will ease right into those right after we're done with decimals. Okay, and this reads as 604 thousandths. So it's the same thing as that. Okay, turn the page, please, to page 150. Oh, move on here. All right, and this is just breaks it down basically how we just did it. You can use place value understanding, write the expanded form, and you can do expanded form with decimals, which like we did with the IXL the other day. Again, using the places here to multiply by it. So this 6 is in the tenths place, so it's 6 times a tenth. This 4 is in the thousandths place, so it's 4 times a thousandth. And 1/10, this is basically what that looks like, and this is basically what that looks like. So you can interchange between fractions and decimals because they're equivalent, which means they're equal, mean the same thing. So you can write the number as a fraction or a decimal. So nothing really to work out there right in your notes. You can write 604 thousandths in a place value chart, which we did at the very beginning. And again, the least place value is thousandths, so that's where it gets its name for that. So 604 thousandths. All right, glance over at page 151. All right, look at the place value chart on the previous page. What are the names of the 4 place values in 604 thousandths? Well, we use ones, tenths, hundredths place, and the thousandths place. Which of these places has the least value? That would be this one right here. Thousandths, because it's the farthest one to the right. So the farther you get away to the right of the decimal, the smaller it is. Look at the expanded form of fractions. How many thousandths are there altogether in 604 thousandths? Kind of self-explanatory. What is the word form of 604 thousandths? Remember my TH there because there's a difference between a thousandths and a thousands. What is the word? Oh, what is the word form of 1.604? So this is where we are going to say 1 and means a decimal. Now I'll make a little arrow right there to the decimal. 1 and 604 thousandths. And explain how reading the digits to the right of the decimal point and knowing the name of the least place value help you read it as a decimal number. We've explained this before. You don't have to write anything down. At this point, I'm sure we get it. So cross out 5, cross off 6. Maybe turn the page because we're gonna gotta do a couple of these just to warm up. All right, 7. What is the word form of this number? Okay, so instead of doing a place value chart, let's look at it this way. Let's look at the smallest place value here. That's going to be thousandths. So, and then what's the number to the right of the decimal? It's 374. And then we name it by the smallest place value, which is thousandths. And that's that. Pretty simple. Let's look at 8. A number is written in expanded form as this. I'm not going to say that out loud. What is the word form of the number? Show your work. I'm going to encourage us to do this. So if you're in class, I'd have you draw this and then make 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. 2, 3, 4 lines. And make this your decimal one. So we would have tens, ones, and this is, sorry about that. Thinking one step ahead, I shouldn't be doing that. Tenths, hundredths, and thousandths place. Okay, so the 7 digits being multiplied by a 10, which means a 7 will go into the tens place. 5 is being multiplied by a tenth, so you put a 5 here in the tenths place. Now there's nothing up here that's being multiplied by a 1, so we would just put a 0 there like that. The 1 is being multiplied by a hundredth, so that 1 digit will go here, and a 6 is being multiplied by a thousandths. That will go here. So then once we see it in here in the place value chart, we can say it like this. So you've got 70 and, which is our decimal point, 516, whoops, 16 thousandths, because the thousandths is the smallest place value. So it takes a few steps, but this is good to get a general idea, and then eventually I think you'll be able to look at something like this and know it right off the top of your head. And last part here, number 9. What is the word form of this number? Okay, I'm going to try this without a place value chart because I want to see if we can throw all of this together. Couple things. Let's look at the smallest place value, which is thousandths once again. Okay, plus you've got a whole number here and we've got a decimal. So already I can see things, how they're going to play out. So let's start with the beginning part. We have 807 and, which represents the decimal, 50, and we look at the number to the right of the decimal, which is 57. And then the smallest place value is thousands. And that takes care of that. 807 and 57 thousandths. See, that wasn't so difficult. Your homework, G3 and IXL, understanding decimals expressed in words. And it's very similar to what we were doing today. And again, just good practice naming your decimals and understanding how they go. All right, good luck on that.